Hello and welcome to our new project.
Hey, I'm Paul. This is what we're referring to as our brick house. It's our newest project. It needs a lot of love. It's about a 125-year-old home. Nobody's been in it for about 5 years from what we gather. We've recently purchased it and we're just trying to make it livable again. Not really a full gut remodel, but just try to make it a safe home for somebody, maybe ourselves. Come on in and I'll show you around.
Definitely a project.
This porch here was added much later. It's not part of the original home. It's going to be taken off and not replaced. We're just going to go back to the actual brick structure. So one of our first projects will be to remove this soggy old porch.
And welcome to the inside.
My wife, Tyler, Garen's mom, is in here cleaning up. So far, what we've been doing is just getting all the clutter and junk removed from the house. The one thing we have done already is we removed it had a suspended office type ceiling with the styrofoam panels. So we took that down and just removed a whole bunch of junk out of here.
So nasty carpet.
For the last couple months, what we've been trying to decide is just how far we're going to go with it. When you buy a house like this, you pretty much have to buy it, outright with cash. Nobody's really interested in giving you a loan on it. So after buying the house, our cash is pretty low. And we just want to what we've decided is we're going to try to keep as much of the original charm of the house as we can. We hope to keep this original trim, the original floors, and some of the things we will have to replace would be like the windows, because they're just not practical anymore to have single pane windows. And not a single one of them will open, which is definitely a safety hazard. One thing that's kind of odd is the layout of this home. So we just came into this small room here, which is probably, I guess, 12 by 12, give or take. I'd imagine that was a living room, maybe dining room. And then we have this room here, which is also about the same size with the big bay windows. And I'm not exactly sure what this room is or was. Kind of like maybe they called it a parlor room where they would entertain guests and stuff. But it's such a small house, it's weird to have that kind of space. It's really like a 700 square foot home. And this room here, without any doors, is the bedroom. It does actually have a closet and a window. So once we put doors on it, it will be a conforming bedroom. So one thing we're thinking about doing is putting a closet here in this space here so that we could also make this a bedroom. That's still to be determined. I think it would add a little bit more value to the home if we did have 2 bedrooms. As you walk around this floor, it has sagged. If you look over here, there's a gap where the floor fell away from the trim. And so just this weekend, we had a friend of ours. He's a professional house mover, so he came over and looked at this. He thinks the foundation is fine. The foundation over the 100 years has settled a little, but most of this is just the floor that's moved. And so we're gonna put some beams under there and bring that back up. We're still going to have a little bit of unevenness throughout the home, but that's kind of to be expected with the homes of this age. Some of the guys have told me that a lot of these houses weren't truly level even when they were built.
Talk about the carpet that was down there.
Yeah.
You can zoom in on it.
There was some really gross carpet in here. That was a big project that we pulled that carpet up, and the pad was just dust, basically. Everybody really does love the trim in here. That baseboard's probably 9 inches tall. It's just really neat.
Yeah, I think it's really cool.
Yeah, as we come into the kitchen, I don't think we have the hardwood under the kitchen. Generally in this area, they didn't put the wood planks in the kitchens or the bathrooms. So we'll have to do some sort of tile or vinyl or some sort in here. To make this more of a functional kitchen, the plan is to shrink this window up to about this level. None of us are brick masons, so we'll probably just frame that in and use wood type siding products and drywall to just bring the wall up, keep the window above the backsplash level. We're gonna remove this heater here and that old chimney, and that should be able to get us a countertop clear to the corner and turn into the range here to make kind of a decent little kitchen area with a dishwasher. And then as far as the bathroom, the bathroom's gonna take quite a bit of work. So far we've managed to gut it. We need to pull this paneling off and then just inspect the subfloor and make sure that we don't have any rot. We may end up kind of rebuilding this room. It's kind of unknown how much it's going to need. Little 5x8 bathroom. And we are hoping to have a washer and dryer as well. So we're thinking the refrigerator will go where we kind of mocked this one up. And then I think we'll put a stacked washer and dryer on this wall. We do have the width to set them both on the floor, but the problem we have is if we have a washer or dryer here and the fridge here, you don't really have enough room to get out the back door. We had our plumber in today kind of looking at that with us, and we're thinking we'll do a stacked washer and dryer right in this area is the thought.
Like this.
Yeah, over here we've got the pantry and
My favorite room.
and the crawl space access, which is just all dirt. And there's a whole collection of junk, 100 years worth of junk down there. But all of this is going to be gutted, and we're going to we'll have to put some utilities on this wall. So we're gonna take all this out and drywall it, get it all cleaned up, and some of our plumbing will be flowing on this back wall here. And then our back door here
Whoops.
goes into that back porch, and this whole back porch is going to be removed. Maybe at a later date we'll rebuild it.
Yeah, not much to see in there.
But for now, it's just going to be taken down. One thing we really liked about buying this property is it came with a whole extra lot. So we worked with the seller over the course of about 8 months to come down to a price that we felt like we could do something with. You know, we kind of have two missions. One is to stabilize this property, and two is to provide an affordable rental to somebody. We have a couple other rentals in town. It's really hard for a lot of people to find something affordable. And so by doing we're looking to just make this a safe, warm place for somebody to live. We might even move into it initially, but long term, we want to make this a rental house. And so one of the things that was really exciting with purchasing this home is we might be able to build something on this additional lot. The lot's 45 foot wide and somewhere around 110 feet deep or something. It's 4,700 square feet, give or take. So we could go out and look at that. We'd really like to build a small duplex or maybe 2 really small homes on it. If you look over here, so our friend loaned us this dump trailer. That's everything we've got out of the house so far.
A whole bunch of junk. For sure.
Probably a good ton in there, I'd guess.
Very nice bathtub. And we had a bunch of shrubs and bushes way overgrown there. Ripped all those out. Just saying that those are right there.
Yeah. So we got a lot of cleaning up to do. We want to take out these cottonwoods are not healthy. The tops are dead. They don't leaf out in the top anymore, and they're kind of a hazard tree. So in the spring, we're going to take those down. These sheds are, they've outlived their life, so we're going to take the sheds out. But hopefully we'll be able to build something here in this lot. The city's been receptive to it so far.
It's really good size.
Yeah. Hey, come here, Cubby. Running off. So the other thing we've been learning a lot about is this is in Butte, Montana, and it's an old town. And this part of town is it's on the National Historic District. This house is in the National Historic District. And we've gone up to the courthouse and we've talked with some of the people there at the Butte Silverbow Courthouse. And there's actually some programs that help people to restore these older homes. So we told them that we'd bought this property and we're kind of telling them what we're wanting to do with it. We want to keep its original structure and charm. And they were very receptive to it. And they've actually given us some applications for some grants. And we're working on applying for some grants to help us offset some of the costs. But basically, if you're working on a home that's in the National Historic District, I don't know if it's like this in all of those districts, but here in Butte Silverbow, you can apply, and generally it's a 25% credit that they'll give you. And we did get approved for that on the roof. And so once we have that roof done and paid for, they'll be able to give us 25% of our costs back, which is just an amazing program that they're doing here. And we might even be able to do some additional grants on this home. If we do, we'll definitely we'll kind of explain how that works. And because it's definitely a nice perk about working on these old homes here in Butte. And we can walk around this way. The lots are really skinny here, so there's just a couple feet on either side of the home. Some of these homes that are actually on 0 lot lines, luckily this one's not. You can actually walk around the whole house without going into your neighbor's yard. So I'm fortunate, I'm glad about that. It's just kind of fun to look at these old houses. We still have the old galvanized gutters. Gosh, that's got to be old. Over here we have an old shed that's full of some pretty interesting stuff.
Definitely going to be ripped out of here.
Yeah. One of the most interesting things in here is these old, I think they're 8 tracks. So we've got some oldies here. I don't have anything to play them on. Kenny Rogers, I recognize that name. Most of these I don't. Charlie Pride, I've heard of him. Yeah, it smells old. It smells like mice in here.
Yeah, not much to salvage in here.
There's an old bedpan. I wonder if that's original to the house. Up there on the wall. That's what you would use when you didn't have a bathroom.
Oh.
So that's kind of the full tour for now. I think one of the very next projects is going to be to take off that front porch. So I'm going to try to document that when we do it. I'm really kind of excited about doing that so we can kind of see what the house looks like. I think it'll look a lot better without that on there. And just our goal here with the video is just to document what we're starting with. And we'd like to, document our efforts as we go, and hopefully when we get towards the end, we'll have a house that's way better than what we've got right now.
Something worth showing. Follow along, support our journey.